Hello everyone, welcome back to the new session of learning. In this video, I will explain Unit 2 Self-Management Skills from Part A book Employability Skills. So let's get started. Self-management, which is also referred to as self-control or self-regulation, is the ability to regulate one's emotions, thoughts, and behavior effectively in different situations. This includes motivating oneself and setting and working towards personal and academic goals. Students with strong self management skills are able to do different activities effectively, including managing their timelines, focusing on their tasks, cooperating with others in school and at home, and perform better in their studies. It helps in future studies, work, and life. So let's start with session 1, Introduction to Self Management. Self management involves understanding yourself, understanding what your interests and abilities are, having a positive attitude, and grooming yourself in order to develop self confidence. Self management can also help in developing good habits, overcoming bad habits, reaching your goals, and overcoming challenges and difficulties. Self management skills include the following: self awareness, knowing yourself as an individual, your values, likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses. Self control, ability to control your behavior, discipline, etc. Self confidence, believing in yourself that you can do any task that is given to you and not scared of taking risk. Problem solving, understanding a problem and finding a solution using step by step method. Self motivation, doing tasks on your own without any external motivation. Personal hygiene and grooming, keeping yourself clean, healthy, and smart. Positive thinking, expressing certainty or affirmation even in tough situations. Teamwork, working together with people to accomplish shared goals. Time management, achieving tasks on time and according the plan. Goal setting, planning concrete goals to be accomplished within a set time frame. Now come to the session 2 of self-management skills, strength and weakness analysis. The strength and weakness analysis helps you in this process. Strength and weakness analysis begins with knowing yourself first. Knowing yourself means understanding who you are, what you like, what you do not like, what are your beliefs, what are your opinions, what is your background, what you do well and what you do not do well. It is important to know who you are because only then you can measure your strength and weaknesses. Strength and weakness analysis. Being self-aware or understanding who am I means looking outside our usual characteristics such as our name, qualifications, and the relationship we have with others. It actually means looking our inner strength, hidden talents, skills, and even weaknesses. Now see the process of strength and weakness analysis. By understanding ourselves, we can know what we can and cannot do. Based on that information, we can plan what and how we can improve ourselves. By improving, we will feel confident about ourselves. This is the process of strength and weakness analysis. Now see how to identify our strength. Take time off to think about what you do well. Think of anything that you are always good at. It can be any sports, it can be writing, it can be studying, it can be any of the talent like dance, music, song. Think about what others appreciate about you. Every time the about which quality. All these are your strength. Now come to the identifying weaknesses. Point out the areas where you struggle and what you find difficult to do. Look at the feedback you receive from others. Be open to feedback and accept your weaknesses without feeling small about it. Everybody is having their own weaknesses. Look at it as an area of improvement. Student, you should able to differentiate between the interest and abilities. Interest are the things that we enjoy doing. Interest may include activities you like to do at school and in your free time that make you happy, or activities you are curious about or would do even if no one asks you to do it. Interest can be activities you want to learn or would like to do in the future. While in other hands, ability means is an acquired or natural capacity that enables an individual to perform a particular job or task with considerable proficiency. For example, you may like cricket, it can be your interest, maybe your interest, but you may not be able to play due to the necessary power or skill. It is ability required to play the game. In that case, it is not necessary to try to become a cricketer. Now come to the session 3 of self-management skills, self-confidence. Self-confidence is a sense of trusting one's abilities and self. If you are an intelligent, hardworking and talented person but lack confidence and avoid taking initiative, then it may be difficult for others to recognize your talent. Self-confidence can be developed through changes in attitude and practice. What are the qualities of self-confident people? First is self-belief. Second is hard work. Third is positive attitude. And the fourth is commitment. How to build self-confidence? There are 3 steps to building self-confidence, and these are: step 1, appreciate achievements and accept failures. For example, celebrate the achievement when the team wins a competition. Articulate learning when the team loses a competition. Step 2, have a goal and take steps towards it. For example, if you have won bronze at one event, set the goal to win gold medal next time and take action for it. Third is always look at the good side and be happy. For example, if you have lost a match, celebrate the efforts of those team members who performed well. Talk to people who are confident and try to gain. Here are some factors that decrease self-confidence. You should analyze these factors should not be there in your behavior. First, when we think we cannot do a particular work, when we keep thinking of our past mistakes and feel bad about it instead of learning from them, when we expect to be successful at the first attempt itself and do not try again, when we are surrounded by people who have a negative attitude which is reflected in their speech. Now come to the session 4, positive thinking. Positive thinking and its importance. A person's attitude can be considered either positive or negative. Positive thinking requires a person to look at the good in things, observe, understand, and patiently work towards improving them rather than worrying and or looking for the bad in things. Positive thinking leads to good result for you, like overcoming challenges, making you do well or making you an energetic individual, helping you get better at work and making you and people around you happy. So how to keep your thinking positive? There are few simple steps to cultivate a positive attitude in life. Let us understand this with the help of the abbreviation SMILE. SMILE, S-M-I-L-E. S for start your day in a positive way. M for manage time to relax. I for imagine the best in any situation. L for learn to take feedback in a positive way. And E for express gratitude. Come to the session 5, personal hygiene. It is a habit or practice of keeping ourselves clean. Cleanliness helps us to maintain our health and well-being. Being healthy allows you to be regular at school, college or work. Personal hygiene is important because it helps us stay healthy, create a good image of ourselves, avoid feeling ashamed in public due to our bad breath, body odor, etc. So now see the 3 steps to personal hygiene. First, care. Second, wash. Third, avoid. Care for what? Keep your hair free of dandruff. Rub oil, cream to take care of your skin. Brush your teeth daily. Change your toothbrush as soon as it is D-shapes. Cut your nails every week. Wash your hands frequently. Take bath every day. Wash your cloth regularly. Wash your hair at least every second day. Wash your feet often. Avoid blow your nose, cough into a handkerchief to avoid spreading germs. Keep your feet dry and change your socks every day. So these are the essential steps of hand washing. So just go through the steps. Now come to the last session of self-management skills. It is grooming. Grooming and its importance. So children, dressing is the action of putting on clothes. But grooming is the process of making yourself look neat, tidy and smart. The way you dress and groom can either send a message that you are confident, smart and sincere or possess opposite qualities. Dressing and grooming are important because they help us look smart, feel confident about ourselves, make a good impression of ourselves. Now see the guidelines for dressing and grooming. Clothes, hair, face. Clothes. Clothes should be clean, neat and ironed. Shoes should be clean and polished. Change socks every day and always wear clean socks. Keep accessories like belts, jewelry, etc. simple. In certain jobs, display of bodily tattoos and piercing is not accepted. Hair. Hair should be washed regularly to keep clean. Simple hairstyles and well-combed hair gives a smart look. Face. For boys, to shave regularly. Mustache should be neatly trimmed. Teeth should be kept clean without any stains. Brush the teeth twice a day to maintain dental hygiene. So that's all for today's video. Here we have completed our unit 2 self-management.